This is Boarding Party Ragnarok, featuring Joel as Elmar Gregory, Jordan as Griff, Devin as Captain Perseus Blackwater, and Dean as Pollen Watkins. With negotiations failing, everyone stands with bated breath, as a powerful force yearns for freedom. Bringing us back into the moment, Perseus and Griff were having some words with new companion Refisul about where the heck did these magic arrows come from, why do you think they're a big deal, and why didn't you tell us about them sooner? And his answer was, because the stone is gone, I didn't think it was important, and I don't need to know you that well. Here we go. Take one. Click. I'm gonna. Yes. So when we left off, Griff, you were holding the normal stone and said magic arrow.
And Griff's been thinking for a while what he's gonna do
for a
here.
whole week. Think for a whole week.
Yeah. I'm just going to continue to move it closer and closer to the arrow.
Why would you do that? That is a weapon for our common enemy. Why would you do that?
Because you lied to us about it.
I did not lie. I just didn't share with you. There's a big difference.
For me, it's the same thing.
Lie.
No, it's not a big difference.
The fifth.
I'm going to quickly look around at him and him to see if what I'm doing is a really bad idea. And if their faces aren't like, don't do that, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, no, Percy's all for it, 100%.
I don't understand. I really don't.
Was like contextually, was I cognizant of all these events?
Oh,
or,
yes.
Okay, or was I like taking a pee?
You were
and I'm
sitting
walking
under-
back?
No,
you were here for
You were
it.
absolutely there, which is why I was like, okay, this is too big of
Okay.
a
It was-
story
it
piece
was-
to not let you act for yourself.
I liked to think it was more like you were more like observing what was happening and like kind of half listening, but then like maybe choice words were happening and it escalated really quickly and you just
Gotcha.
haven't said anything yet.
As
That's a good way to say
voices
that.
rose,
I like
you got more interested.
Gotcha. I think in my hands would be up like, what? This is a bit much.
Seems reasonable.
Look, keep the arrow. I'll even teach you how to shoot it. I don't care. All I want is to beat Hot Dad. That's it. That's my goal.
Why are you so upset if I...
Don't you have one of these?
No, it's not the same.
Ooh.
Look.
Elmar, two accidental spell casts that you might consider.
Yeah,
Two-
this is probably
Two
also
accidental spell
important.
casts, which is another reason I stopped. You have command, where you can force someone to make a saving throw, and you give them a command, and they follow it, provided it does not cause them to immediately kill themselves or
Yeah.
put themselves in harm's way.
Okay. I
Or
didn't know
Zone
I
of
had that.
Truth, where everybody has to make a charisma save, and if they fail, they cannot deliberately lie. They can omit the truth, but they cannot tell you a direct lie. You can evade, you can half answer questions, you can try not to, but it's a thing that you're only aware of, like, you get to know if they succeeded or failed. But that might be a thing that Elmar might step in with.
Yeah, I think dad mode might engage.
Yeah, if you're like, hold on, why? And then Zone of Truth.
Because I my limited knowledge, I'm like, what's the difference between the one you already have and the one you're holding? I don't really understand it.
Like you're asking me that?
Well, that's what I just asked.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so-
don't you have one?
I would just say then they're not the same.
Oh, yeah, that was the other part. The arrow that Griff has and the arrow that Refisul has are basically, I think the way I phrased it was same recipe, different chef.
Like a knockoff.
So like, someone could have seen one and
Gotcha.
tried to make a replica, but which one is the replica?
Gotcha. Okay. So shouldn't we? Can we compare them? Because my memory is a little loose on this, but they seem
This
similar,
one is definitely source infused. The other one is not.
but it's still a magic arrow. Do they have the same properties?
I don't know.
It just seems kind of weird to lose a weapon that could.
He has many more of them.
I have 3 on my person.
Yes, but you said you have 50.
Yes.
That doesn't matter.
I have 3 on my person. If I don't get back to the other 47, then that's all we have.
You can stop talking.
If we get
I'm
interrupted.
just. What's the end goal of reverting
You
it to
can-
normal?
To see if it just is a piece of it or how maybe they did this.
Can you sense anything like what kind of element this is, or maybe has it been anything similar to what we've come across?
It's definitely it's not the same, but it's definitely a source stone.
Yeah, but can you tell like what kind it is? Like we have obviously a metal.
No, right?
Yeah, no, it emanates power. That much is clear, but in a different way. Like it's not an easily recognizable it's not a naturally occurring element. We'll phrase it that way. It's not fire, it's not ice. It's like it doesn't feel natural to Griff, being well in tune with a lot of the more natural stone elements. It's not lightning. It's
But it gives off the same vibe.
Here's my main
those
concern,
all seem
and
similar.
I'll trust your judgment with it otherwise. We've learned that the stone that Ko has limited uses and will eventually die out. And we don't know if this normal stone is the same, and it would be a shame to waste its power on something like this when we know its capabilities in assisting us with fighting Hot Dad.
You're not wrong, but they still have more.
If it's worth it, and if you can see if we can put it back together afterwards, I don't see the point in wasting it. But
Because we could actually have, from my understanding and recollection of how the normal stone works, is if one thing is made with another, it splits off into 2. Maybe we'll actually get a piece of that stone and can examine it even further than through just the arrow.
yeah, it's fair.
I think is ridiculous. Yes, I have more, but we have 4. And if we don't get back to where I have more and we're cut off by our enemy, then we have 3. And that could be the difference between success and failure. So
Are
why
you not a
waste
trained
it?
marksman?
I don't know how many arrows it's going to take to kill this person. I don't know his strength level.
I touched them together.
Okay. I'm going to need everybody to roll for initiative real quick. Griff, you hold in your hands 2 very, very powerful items. As you touch the chunk of normal stone onto this enormous black arrow, you hear a horrible, sickening crack of stone, metal, whatever this thing is, exploding and reverting to its prior form. As a shockwave sends all of you sort of flying a far ways away, you're sort of blinded and dazed for a moment. And as you look up, what can only be described as a dragon made purely of shadow stands in front of you. Elmar, you're up first. As this dragon lets out this horrible spectral roar, you watch as the trees all around you wither immediately and collapse into ash.
Oh wow. I would like to try to insight and see if it has like a specific target in mind,
Okay.
if possible.
Oh, sure.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do I still have my damage from the fight I just finished?
Yes.
Wow.
The
Okay.
rest was not taken. How'd you do?
24.
24?
That's a crit.
Oh, okay. It's a crit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It seems very focused on the lot of you.
Just all of us.
Most specifically, however,
Oh.
if it was to do a quick scan, shall we say, to reward your high roll, Perseus, Elmar, and Ko seem to have its attention the most.
Oh, hey there, friend.
Griff, it's worth noting.
Yikes.
Normal stone shard.
Gone. Yeah. 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 Thought that was a possibility.
Yep.
That was
As-
brilliant.
As standing before you is the dragon source stone. You're up first, Elmar. You still have a move.
We did it.
It seems to be
We did it.
incredibly menacing, confused, furious, many things.
I want to run over to Perseus because I know that Elmar, or not Elmar, Ko can probably. He's almost dragon-esque and might be able to be okay from this.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna hunker down with Perseus, kind of be a shield for now, and just yell at Griff. Try to undo this or talk to it or something. I don't think we can take this thing. And just hide behind it.
Okay.
And I'll
so
take
you
the dodge or block
shield
or
up
whatever.
and take the dodge action.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down real quick. All right, Elmar, as you get defensive in front of Perseus, you watch as the dragon's head now swoops down to look at the two of you. Seems very interested in what you got going on.
Okay.
Griff, you're up next.
Let's get it, boys.
I'm gonna kind of hold up the stone in one hand and then open my other hand, noticing that the normal stone is gone.
Oh, both things are gone.
Oh, the
arrow.
Okay,
The arrow
Okay,
is
cool.
now in front of you.
I figured. Okay.
Yes.
The arrow
I
is
didn't
so
know if I
tricky.
could like. Okay. Hang on.
Regrettably, yes, you find your hands empty.
Like, hey, I'll just put. Oh, not there.
Just do it again, real quick.
Let me just
Maybe not.
let me just put this back on there. You're missing this.
Just
piece.
walks up, puts it on his like toenail. There you
Here
go.
you go.
Do I have any idea if this is something that I could speak with? Like, would I be like, is it even worth it to try?
Would you?
Try your Hashkron language. Deep speak
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Yeah, deep speech.
Yeah, I don't know that one. That's him.
When in doubt, you can always try common.
Yeah, I would.
Hey, pal.
I would
Everything's chill.
quickly run through, try to get its attention, and like be like, "Calm down, we're friend." Do the best that I can to show him that we're not trying to harm him. That we're just as shocked that he's here as.
Okay.
as
Give
he
me
is.
an animal handling.
Okay.
1.
10.
Oh yeah. No, it doesn't even look at you. It seems very focused on your two companions.
Okay. With that, I would then turn and look at him, and
And I'm just shaking my head at you.
be like, "What is this?"
No idea. I have no idea.
Do you have that smug look on your face?
I have no idea.
I don't know what this is. I don't
No
know what you
idea.
did. You broke it. I gave you a weapon and you gave me a dragon. How dare you?
I guess in a smug way, I'm kind of like, you created this problem, so figure it out.
Oh, and Ko has.
And by the way, I'm wounded over here, so I'm not exactly full strength. So I'm not exactly eager to dive in there and fight this thing either.
Can I insight check his? I don't know what it is.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
I will roll a die for you.
15.
Interesting. Yeah, Refusul seems just as confused as you. He's like, not a clue, bro. I didn't make this. It's not one of my things.
Okay.
I don't have conjure dragon on my spell sheet. I'm a monk.
Okay.
No idea.
All right.
I found a weapon that I thought was strong. We were able to duplicate it, and we did it.
Strong.
Didn't know what was in there.
All right. That's that then.
Okay. We're gonna jump to Ko as Griff is kind of like, we're good. What the fuck? Ko. Big monster. Up to you though.
Sounds like he did really well last time.
Yeah.
So he probably has some
He's amped.
some unfound confidence. that
Bravado.
He's gonna
Bird
channel.
monster.
And he's gonna try to maybe do a dragon claw attack and see if he can channel some electricity in it.
Get that attack roll.
Sushi.
But okay, it's a 22.
That hits.
Okay, 14.
14. Okay. Yes, as this as the dragon is kind of zeroing in on Elmar and Perseus, you guys see Ko. He's just like, all right, let's go, boys.
Round 2.
And just runs up right to the leg, just goes, bam! And you see this little jolt of electricity shoot up, and you can see most of the dragon's form is just composed of like seeping shadows. As the lightning kind of sparks through it, you just see a skeletal structure inside. All of the scales, everything else are just made of darkness and this weird, like, see-through, almost obsidian glass structure. As Ko's like,
You shouldn't have attacked it yet, Ko. Get back here.
bam! Bam! Ko does get 2 attacks.
A 23 to hit. This
Oh,
time.
yeah, that barely hits. It's one better than last time. Oh, shoot, bro. No.
Wow,
His AC is
9.
exactly 22. All right. So, Elmar, as you say, Ko, you shouldn't have attacked yet, he goes, wha-bam! And does another quick punch.
Yeah.
The dragon kind of shivers a little bit and seems to be kind of flicking its tail in anticipation. As we move to Refisul.
Yeah. Wounded Refisul.
Get him!
You know what? Who's closest to me?
I mean, you're sort of at odds with everybody. So
No, I don't mean like in relationship. I'm saying distance-wise.
I mean that in the same exact way.
Okay.
Everybody's you kind of split the camp. Amenadiel's the only one who's really next to you.
Can they hear me?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to do is pull an arrow out of my quiver. And I'm going to show it to you guys like, should I try this? Opinions?
I'm kind of focused on the very large.
I
shadow
understand.
Gentlemen, opinions.
Since I feel like I'm on the outs, I'm afraid to just dive in and do something right now. So, but I'm not going to run in there with a sword and try to fight this thing because I'm kind of beat up right
He
now.
doesn't
But
have a sword.
I know.
That's why he's not going to
I
run in
know,
there and
but-
fight him with a sword. He has a boomerang.
I have a boomerang, but
Since I was already talking to you, I assume that's your reaction to me.
Mhm.
And I would be like, can you control it with that?
No idea.
Do something.
I just want to see what an arrow will do against it because I'm figuring it's the one weapon that'll hurt it or it's the one that'll make it stronger, and that's why I wanted to get confirmation.
3 dragons.
You know what?
I'm out. Just
You know
leave.
what?
Just
lay down.
Honestly, I'm gonna put the arrow back and I'm gonna pull out my boomerang
Okay.
and I'm gonna chuck my boomerang at it.
The gentleman's option.
Right in my own.
Just
I just
Sudoku.
I go from stern to stem. All right, +7 to hit. Here you go. Throw out that boomerang.
10,
10.
17.
17. As you throw out the boomerang, it goes ready for your patented throat slice. As it just scrapes off the front of the scales and flies back to your hand with no effect.
So my boomerang's power doesn't seem to have any effect.
Or-
Or you missed.
Or the AC is higher than 17.
Okay.
But you have 2 attacks. You try again.
Do it again.
Thunk.
21.
Ooh, there you go. That'll hit. 12. Okay. Okay, so now your prior statement is correct. As the boomerang slams into the dragon, it has... You're expecting an impact, and it's kind of like when Sokka throws his boomerang and it just kind of bounces off, like the spongy parts of someone's face. And it goes doink. just kind of falls down, and then obviously returns to your hand. But it seems like that damage type may not be the best.
Okay.
Amenadiel. You now have the benefit of Refusul's attempt, but thankfully you deal radiant damage instead of necrotic, so
All right.
you deal different damage types.
So I'll try that one because we got to figure out what hurts this thing.
All right. +7.
9.
Oof. As Amenadiel's like, all right, here we go, boys. Bonk. Just kind of bounces off as well. And Amenadiel just kind of sheepishly goes and picks up the boomerang again. You have 2 attacks.
Do it again. 10.
10.
Yeah.
All right.
Consistency.
Yeah, equally bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, as Amenadiel's just like, no weapon can pierce its hide. Comes over here like, bro, I just did. Perseus.
I'll take a page out of Griff's playbook, but in deep speech, as this thing would it be like considered the size of like Hoshkron and all that?
It is approximately Hoshkron sized, yeah.
Okay.
Just very different body shapes, you
Yeah.
know.
Kind of peek over Elmar's shield in massive stature and be like, in deep speech, friend, companion, or mi amigo. We mean you no harm.
As you lean over, everyone around you hears.
But you have to do that with Perseus's voice.
No. No, I don't. And how dare you? I don't know how do you do that?
That's the challenge.
Something
Mate.
like
There you go.
Oh, man.
That's the best. That's all you're getting.
Mate.
That's awesome. Yeah, the dragon looks at you, just goes, and then seems to be rearing up for something. But you still have another action.
I go, no thank you. And just Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
So
Tix blade.
that's not gonna hit. 7 plus 4, so no. And that's going to be 21.
That'll hit.
Yeah.
And it's force damage.
Yes, sir. Deal 1d10 plus 4. That'll be 8 points of force damage.
Ooh.
What's
All
the
right.
one that doesn't miss?
Magic missile.
Ah.
Yes.
Magic
That's
missile.
a
The
wizard thing.
darkness.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's low damage, but it's guaranteed.
Yeah, unless you cast it at like 9th level magic missile.
And it goes.
It's like
And then
fireworks going off.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's like 30 beams. All right. As Perseus fires off 2 eldritch blasts right into this thing's face, you watch as some of the scales and flesh, what little bits are there, start to kind of tear apart at the mouth. Moving to the dragon's turn. Elmar, you took the dodge action, so I'm going to give you advantage on your dexterity save.
We're all gonna die.
Elmar and Perseus, you're in the firing line. Perseus, I'm going to give you half cover as well because you're standing behind Elmar.
Okay.
I'm going to be as gentle as I can.
Dex save?
You get a +2 to your dex save.
On top of my already.
Yeah, so an
Okay.
additional +2, and then Elmar, I'm going to give you advantage to it.
Doesn't even matter.
Me neither.
I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, I rolled a crit.
Extremes.
That's my
Okay.
third one this fight.
I couldn't see it coming. You were in the way.
Let me...
He steps aside. You just get drilled.
I crit my initiative, my insight, and my deck save so far.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Elmar, as an additional bonus from the merciful god of will, as you
The iron
slam
will.
your shield into the ground, I'm gonna give you the temporary effects of the Shield of Faith spell. Go ahead and add a +2 bonus to your AC for a while.
Cool.
Now, because you crit, you're gonna take a quarter of the damage
Okay.
because you succeeded and you're doing great. Elmar.
Thanks, Drew. Appreciate that over here.
Good buddy.
You're doing great, Elmar. Percy, on the other hand.
Roasted.
Elmar.
Percy,
food.
the
A lot
opposite.
of dice.
I know. I'm. This could outright kill me. I don't have a lot of HP.
Yeah, it'd be really sad if you guys came within one
So,
thing of death.
It outright kills me if it does double my HP, but I'll just go down if it does
Well,
under that.
on the bright side, it's only 28 points of damage.
I am still up.
Which
Wow.
is good because, that's 28 necrotic damage. As Perseus, you're like, amigos. This horrible black and purple ray of just withering slams into you. You watch as all the barnacles and extra sea life on you start to just wither into ash.
No, my friends.
Your body is able to hold up to the blast almost incredibly. And a lot of that is just Elmar kind of like holding the shield up over you.
And I take 7 then, right?
Yeah, so Elmar, you would take 7.
That's exactly where I'm at for HP.
Yeah, so as you guys kind of like weather the first storm, it kind of like coughs and sputters up a little bit of this purplish gas.
Okay.
As in comes towards you, Elmar, a large claw swinging in from the side. That might miss.
Am I still under dodge action here?
Oh, so it actually has disadvantage on you. So here we go. Oh, the next one is a natural 1. As the claw swings down, you go, "Begone, devil!" Boosh, and just kind of bash the claws away of this massive shadowy dragon. You just hold your shield up and push back with a little bit of force. You're feeling the iron will right now. You're like, this
Awesome.
is what I was made for. Okay, that ends the dragon's turn. We move to Hoba. And Hoba's like,
Yeah.
I have dots. Wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've thrown dots at today. Ooh. It's a 5, a 5, and a 13 on the die. With Hoba's bonuses, the 13 will hit. That's great. Here comes a little bit of damage. A little bit. Boop. There we go. Takes 4 more points of damage. And it's amazingly not immune to poison, so it needs to make a save. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That's actually great.
Plus 9? Oh my god, no wonder he's not immune to poison. He doesn't need it. Yeah, no, he's fine. As Hoba's dagger turns into a small viper and strikes into the side of the scales, the dragon's like, I'm you but better, and flexes and it explodes like a mosquito. As Hoba's like, dang, I like that guy. Oh, he's gone. Hoba's gonna hold his ground, because nobody really wants to move in on a dragon. Maya.
She, seeing this thing and not understanding what it is just gonna come pick me up.
Okay. She's like, hey, buddy.
I'll jump on her.
It's the magic words. Maurice, we are leaving. Yeet. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Maya will run over to Griff, pick him up. She running away?
Not right now. We'll kind of just circle and it's not my turn, so I can't really tell her what to do, but we're kind of linked, right? If this is allowed, she's gonna get to a position where like the dragon is in front of us, but my friends are on either side of it. So like there's a clear side on the other side of the dragon.
Yeah, it's kind of like Amenadiel Raphael over here, Percy and Elmar up at the front. You could like swing around and shoot through. I'm presuming you're lining up a lightning bolt.
Something just to like make sure that there's nothing on the other side of it.
Hmm?
Like my friends aren't on the other side of it.
Yeah, it would be reasonable to assume that.
Okay. Then that's that.
Okay. Undertow. Undertow.
Yeah, Undertow seeing Percy now on death's door is gonna be like, I need you still for my games, and gonna kind of swoop and kind of pick me up, and kind of similar, following what Maya's kind of doing with Griff,
Mhm.
but position himself almost next to. Is gonna go ahead and surf.
Okay.
So that's a deck save from Le Beast.
How good is it at dex saves? Oh, not very. It's big. As the surf pours out from undertow, it's an 18 on the dex save.
That makes it so it'll take half.
Okay.
But I got water now on the field.
Better than nothing.
Werner!
That's pretty good, dude.
17. And
Ooh.
then, so half of that.
Okay. Yeah, as water kind of slams into this thing, it seems to have some effect. Had it not dodged, it seems like it would have been a really good hit. But again, it is still just large. So all the waves just kind of crash over the back of this thing. Everybody standing in front, there's this big kind of explosion of water all around as you kind of get rained on for a second. But there's water on the ground.
And is it possible for... Take me up. Up. Yeah,
Yeah. Flying up and around.
perfect.
Okay. That brings us back to the top of the round. Elmar, your dodge action is no longer in effect because it's your turn.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna let out a hya and light up my sword here. I'm gonna stand before this dragon and say, "We've received the blessing from your brother. Please, we're trying to stop your crazy brother.
Okay.
Please, we're friends."
Okay.
Which one?
Would you like to make a persuasion check?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes,
Persuade him.
Independent of your words, we'll just see how you do here.
16.
Okay.
Barely missed
As you shout out, the dragon goes, "He is no brother of mine."
Ah, great.
He's one of the bad ones.
It was worth a shot.
It was.
It was a nice effort, Joel. You made a really good try, okay? Never let anyone tell you that you didn't do a good job.
And then I'll say, well, if you're not a friend of his, then you're not a friend of ours. And I'll try to cut him with my fire sword.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
10.
Okay. As you bring your sword up, you go, yeah, and stab in. The flames extinguish as it approaches the dragon.
Cool.
Would you like to make a second attack?
I didn't know if my persuasion attempts was my first
I will
action.
count that as a bonus.
Okay.
Action.
Then yes, I
Because
would.
lighting up your sword is part of your attack.
Whee! 16.
No. No. As you bring your sword once more towards the dragon, it kind of scrapes off the front of the scales on one of its claws. You seem to be locked in an endless battle with this thing, just where you're throwing claws away and it's striking off your sword. But it's Ko's turn. And Ko holds
it.
nothing back.
I
Do you have
forgot
something you'd rather do?
I was gonna do something else and I forgot to do it. Oh well.
What were you
It's too
thinking?
late.
Is
Well, I
it-
already swung my attack. I was gonna cover again and then like bounce him off, get him some air. But I
you know
forgot.
what? Rule of cool. Your persuasion check is part of you speaking, and I'll let you try whatever you're gonna do because that sounds awesome. You get down and hold your shield over you.
I won't take my dodge action on Elmar, but that's what I was gonna do,
Okay.
and then have him jump, and then I
So
was
you
just gonna
kind of get
boost
down.
him.
You lock eyes
Yeah,
with Ko. You're
yeah.
like,
Yep.
here we go.
Yes, sir.
No fastball special, but you'll do what you can.
Yep.
Okay. Ko, you're up.
Okay.
Elmar gives you the signal.
And he's gonna run, get launched up, and just try to punch him.
In
If
the face.
if he can get that high. If not, just like in a limb or a joint.
Okay. Give me an athletics check from Elmar.
Okay.
To how high can you fling Ko?
22.
Woo!
Pretty high.
Okay, so we're gonna give you a +2 to your attack roll
Okay.
with Ko
Okay.
because you're getting up closer. The armor's all by the claws and stuff. As you're flying up.
It'd be a 22.
22 will hit. Give me a good punch in the face. Get him. Ba-boom. Get there.
Do. Charge up that lightning, boy.
Boom.
Sick. That is 25 damage.
25. Ko's
a
not
badass.
one to be sleeping on the job as all negotiations are failing. Ko's like, get me up there, chief. Whoosh, as you kind of fling him up. Just straight up, give him an uppercut. Father Christmas. Get him. Right under the jaw. As you guys on the ground kind of see Ko, right as he slams the dragon's jaw shut, one of the fangs pops
Ooh.
loose. As Ko just goes, you have a second attack while you're up there. You can keep your +2.
Yeah, for sure. I don't if this is additional then he won't, but can he also try to sleight of hand to hide it? So he's like just wants to keep it instinctually. He's
Yeah.
like, this is mine.
Yeah.
All right. His dex is awful, but we'll see how he does. Yeah, it's really bad. Okay. A 4 on that.
Yeah, you grab it and you're like, and it's just like on your belt now. You're like, yeah.
All right. So it's not it's not
sticking
hitting at
out
all.
of his what little satchel he probably carries with him for petty theft.
24.
24. That'll hit. Get another 20 some odd points of damage
Ko's a
in.
badass.
Dude, Ko stops at nothing. He's ready.
When he's like rocking his high and he's like, I'm doing good, he does great. And then when he like
When
does
he sucks,
something and
he
they're like,
sucks.
you suck, he's like, yes I do, and he leaves.
He's impressionable.
I'm utter garbage. I am but a worm.
11 on that one.
11 on that one.
I'll say it again. There's 11 on that one.
Okay. Yeah, that's another solid hit out of Ko as he kind of uppercuts and the dragon brings its head back down and opens its jaw. He goes boom and just slams it right back shut. There's this horrible like clap of the jaws as it slams together. As Ko, you land. Let's do a dex check. How do you land? Do you superhero landing or do you kind of land on your face? after
Probably
this really
not.
Cool thing.
But 10.
Okay,
Right
I'll
in the
say
middle.
I'll say that's enough for you to kind of land like
Stumble. Like, oh, I was going to say
You
a
land-
first time skydiver.
you land cool, and then you kind of like your leg slips out, and you're like,
Nice.
did it, nailed it, Griff. I need an initiative tracker soon.
So
TM.
this thing isn't floating, is it, or flying?
Not currently, no.
Love that answer too.
It has wings.
Yeah, I figured.
It's a dragon. We need Killian back.
Yes.
Practice my stabbing.
Get
him in there.
Just use them like Drax. Just throw them inside. Good luck.
I'll quickly yell to the group, "Are we fighting this thing?" And like look around to see where everybody's at.
I'm
and
up
like,
above and I'm like,
As Ko's flying up, he's like, boom.
yeah, then I guess I'll just cast lightning bolt on it.
Lightning bolt.
disadvantage though too, on the save.
Because he's in water.
Got you, buddy.
That's a 17 or a 10. 10's probably better for you.
Yeah, 10's definitely better.
There we go.
All right. 23 lightning damage coming in.
Yes. Griff, as you ride astride Maya and you kind of swing around the side of this dragon, you watch as Elmar throws Ko in the air. You kind of lock eyes. Go. Right on through the dragon. You see your window where there's not somebody directly across from you, and you take your shot. As the lightning ripples all the way through this thing, it lets out this horrible roar. Right as Ko lands, and he goes, "Oh, jeez!" And he kind of like stumbles off his cool superhero landing because he's a little startled. It all makes sense in the end. All right, Refasul, you're coming in.
I'm throwing my boomerang,
Bring in the
but
heat
I'm aiming specifically
at Griff.
for the mouth area where the tooth came out. I'm
Okay.
trying to hit,
Yeah.
there's,
You're gonna give him a
Smout's
filling.
bat scale.
yeah, I'm basically.
Yes, every dragon has a weak spot.
18 on the die.
18 exactly hits,
Ooh.
Good to know.
but with your bonus, it's 25.
16.
16? Okay. Cut in half. There we
8.
go. 8. Boom. Rafasul, you see your moment. You're like, didn't work last time. Maybe it'll work this time. Yeah! As you slam the boomerang right into the jaw of this thing, it hits right where the tooth was, and you hear this horrible yowl. as it carves under the jaw and just sort of starts leaking this horrible black ooze. As the ooze falls onto the ground, it kind of congeals. It's not an ooze monster. It's just gross. It's like pudding.
I like pudding.
There you go. It's black pudding.
I don't
Literally.
I don't like chocolate pudding.
But yeah, so
I have
Refusil,
this
as your-
mold. We can pour it in and make arrows.
As your boomerang returns to you, that little bit of like black ichor on the ground seems to be draining the color from nearby grass.
Interesting.
As you catch the boomerang, you have another swing.
Am I really close to that, or am I?
Not really.
Okay, good. Because
You're pretty far off from
I don't
it.
want to be near that.
Yeah, you're kind of like throwing your boomerang from the side, and it's kind of catching angles and coming back to you.
I'm aiming for the exact same spot
Okay.
again,
And I put a stick in the wound, and I squish it around.
and I rolled an 8. So
Okay, so it's a 15. Yeah. The second one, not so much luck, because it's already kind of writhing around. The boomerang just misses its mark. You got to throw where he's going, not where he is. Okay, after Refusil is Amenadiel. We're going to take the same turn. Here we go.
All right.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. but-
Amenadiel looks at me, and I look at him like, go for the same spot.
Okay.
So he's throwing his boomerang at the exact same spot.
Get it.
And he rolled an 18.
Ooh, very good. Okay. So Amenadiel has your same bonus. So he's at 25
Okay.
to hit. And then he does the same damage as you.
So 10.
10. Okay. Yeah, as Amenadiel throws out his holier than thou boomerang, and it kind of lights the way through. He watches the shadows kind of peel back, and you see underneath this thing is just a dragon. But on the outside is all this crazy shadow armor and stuff going on. As his boomerang slams right into the jaw as well, it kind of leaves this horrible blast of light. You can see underneath, there's just the normal dragon's face remains. All the armor's kind of come off the top of the head. Looks an awful lot like a Charizard, which still is just a dragon.
Mhm.
But it kind of, as the Amenadiel catches the boomerang, he's like, all right, cool. And these big shadowy plates of armor kind of fall to the ground.
All right. Liking that result.
You got a second
Gotta
attack.
do it again. And like his buddy, he rolls a 10 on the die.
One.
So
One off.
missed it.
As he throws the second one, the dragon's kind of already turning around and sees it coming and just goes right on around. No purchase that time. Perseus.
Okay. Eldritch Blast.
So anyway, I start blasting.
First one's a 12. Second one's 24.
That's good.
Modified 20. And miss. So 2 hit.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Taking a page out of Amenadiel's book, he watches the sort of armor platings falling off. You're like, all right, screw it. Boom! Then you kind of fire off all these eldritch blasts. 2 of them sort of go wide. One blasts off a chunk of the sort of chest plate that it's got on. The other one strikes it right on one of the horns, and you see there's still just this big, like horrible black mangled horn up top underneath all that armor. A lot of armor's falling off this thing. You're getting the impression it might be a little easier to hit from here on out.
Perfect.
But that's good hits from Percy.
That's it.
Now it's the dragon. Roll to recharge. All right. No shadow breath coming back this time. So instead, we're doing multi-attacks. All right. We're going to have a tail whip coming in towards Griff and Maya. We're going to have a claw attempting to just crush down on Elmar. And another claw is going to take a swipe at Perseus in the air. So we're just going to go all at once. The one at Maya is an 18 on the die. With his ridiculous bonuses, we're not even going to tell you how close to 30 it
It's a
is.
32 to hit.
It's pretty high. That is...
Why are we doing this?
Because
you
I don't
test-
know.
I thought we were gonna run, and everybody's just like, "No, kill it!" I'm like,
You
"Okay."
can't let a dragon loose.
Just like, okay.
Maya, you take 20 points of bludgeoning damage. If you would be so kind as to make a strength saving throw.
No.
nobody ran,
Sorry,
so
a
Percy was like,
constitution saving throw.
Okay.
My apologies.
so
Crit.
Crit? Okay. You are not in any way adversely affected other than the bludgeoning damage.
Which was 20.
20.
This thing hits me. I'm
20 to
down.
Maya. We've got Elmar coming on down to you. You still have Shield of Faith up.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Just barely.
You seem very... You're like, unbelievable. It's okay. It is bludgeoning damage, so you do reduce it by 3, but it's 9.
Awesome.
9 plus 4 plus 4.
Okay.
17.
Uh-huh.
Reduced by 3 is 14.
Okay.
You take 14.
I accept these
14 bludgeoning. As you kind of hold your shield up, your will is strong. Your arm is kind of strong. Your leg grip starts to kind of slip, and you crush a little bit down as the dragon pushes off of you to rear up and swing up towards Undertow and Perseus.
Oh, wow.
No, please.
It's a crit.
I'm dead. It don't even matter. But he could probably do double my max HP, so this actually matters.
It's 37 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I'm dead, or I'm down, but I'm not dead.
okay.
Dead. Yeah.
Let's get a Constitution save from Undertow to stay flying after that force.
21.
Okay. Yeah, Undertow is able to stay flying. As the dragon's claw slams into the side, it mostly passes through Undertow. But that's bad for you, as it slams right into you with full force and just swats you like a fly into the ground. You guys watch as Perseus just flops limply into the snow down on the ground. Just
This is the Captain Swan song.
who knows? As the dragon lets out a loud roar, just Hoba looks at this and just goes, "I'm out of my depth," and sprints on over to Perseus, and he kind of coils his hands together, and you watch as another very small snake kind of appears in his hands, and he lets it loose onto Perseus. As you feel kind of very in between consciousness, you're like, is everything broken? Am I alive? You see a little snake come up, you're like, you gotta be kidding me, this is the worst day. As it kind of slithers up to you, you watch as it just little bits of venom kind of leak out into some of your wounds. And it hurts like crazy, but you regain. Oh, that's not that many. You gain 3 hit points.
I'll take any.
It's a low roll healing word, but there you go. So you're back up. And then Hoba's gonna turn around and throw 3 darts at this dragon. And be like, leave my friends alone. He crits, crit fails, and then rolls a 10. My man is all about averages. Okay, so the crit will hit, which is good. That's 6 plus 1 is 7. But the dragon has to roll to not be poisoned. So let's see. It's only an 11. The dragon is poisoned.
Ooh.
Okay. So it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks for an amount of time. After Hoba is Maya. Maya, you've just been bludgeoned by this thing's incredibly long whiptail.
Did that at risk of taking damage for Griff knock me off of her?
No, you made your save.
Okay. So, seeing as there's now openings and it's not just a shadow creature, she can kind of see through to something.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna go in for a River's Rebuke and try to get him.
Get him.
Get him good, Maya.
Get him.
Help me. Help me, I'm poor.
Help me, I'm poor.
18.
18 will hit by more than 1 now.
10 damage.
10.
10 fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, as Maya's like, all right, here we go. Dragons, if I know one thing about fire, this is going to be good. Sinks some fiery fangs on in. They come lashing out from her, and they slam into the dragon. And the dragon's like, child's play. As it just kind of falls away.
Yeah.
After Maya, it's Undertow.
Percy got hurt. He gonna twist her. Start up a whirl.
A whirl. Get that twisting whirl.
17.
17 will hit.
And 18 points of cold damage.
18 points of cold damage. As a twister forms underneath the large dragon, the last of these sort of dark armored plates seem to be falling away, leaving one singular dark plate around one of its legs. Seems like a big, almost like an ankle bracelet. After Undertow's twister is Elmar. Taco's Elmar.
So I would like to sacrifice spell slot to do some radiant damage to this last piece
Okay.
that is on him.
That was, I don't know if that was a good catch.
18
18 will hit.
or 19.
19 will hit one more than 18 does. You got your damage.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
And then you got your smites.
Yeah.
So 2d8 additional.
Uh-huh.
How'd you do?
3.
3 whole damage.
Yeah, a 1 on all 3 of them.
No.
How incredibly unlucky.
Plus whatever your strength is for your weapon.
Balance.
Oh yeah, so 6.
Balance in all things.
He doubled it.
All right. Elmar, with as you channel the fury of a god and you slam your sword into the final piece, the sword goes kaploing. Just kind of bounces right off there. You did some damage, but it's not nearly the big
Yeah,
finale you were hoping for.
definitely not.
But you have another attack.
Yeah, he's gonna do that again with one more smite.
Okay.
Where?
That was just so sad.
It was pathetic.
I'm gonna use a smite. 3.
Can I borrow a D8?
I was like, you have extra d8s. I rolled.
Yeah,
You gotta do
that's
15
awful.
d8 damage.
I saw the one
15.
because I couldn't see it. I'm like, please be a 7. Please be a 7. I was like, no.
Ugh.
A little bit better. 16.
To hit?
Oh,
Come on.
That was
it'll be
he rolled
19
his-
damage because I add my 3
Okay.
if I hit. 21.
21 hits.
Yeah,
Okay.
boy.
Elmar,
19 damage.
as your first attack is kind of rebuffed, you go, I said be free! And you kind of bring your sword back down again. You shatter this sort of ankle bracelet thing as the last of the dark armor sort of falls off and slams into the ground beside you. Do you attempt to spare the thing underneath? Or is it once an enemy, always an enemy? Okay.
I would stop to ask it again.
Yeah, you are, because you are currently capable with your damage of going through the armor and hitting the creature beneath.
Yeah, no,
But you don't have to.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I've freed it. My goal was to hit that last piece off
Mm-hmm.
to see if there was any additional benefit to the creature, something that was holding over it.
Okay.
And ask it again of its kin.
Okay. Once the armor falls off, it seems incapable of speech, but it also doesn't seem angry, like it wants to kill you. Just seems confused. As it kind of looks around frantically, it sees all the dark armor around. It's going to attempt to fly into the sky.
Okay, I'm just
You
trying
let it
to.
go?
Yeah, I want to like. I think we've cured it of its mania. To the group, they can do with that what they will.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't Perseus up there?
No, I'm on the
Perseus is-
ground.
Are you on the ground?
Shaking
Tumble.
Getting take care
I
of.
thought Undertow kind of
Yeah.
picked you up and was
Hobo's-
trying to keep you.
Yeah,
He
Hobo
did,
will
and then he
kinda
got
start wrapping
smacked
your
down.
wounds
Cool.
with some herbs and leaves and his weird healing ways.
Yeah.
I kind of
snakes.
figured that
Yeah, I'll
breaking
tell-
that
I'll tell
last piece
Undertow
was
to-
gonna let it fly.
Come on down.
Yeah.
But if it's good,
Elmar,
Mm-hmm.
I will have you make that religion check.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Unnatural 20.
As you look into the sky, you see this large dragon. To Joel, it would appear to be a Charizard with the wrong color scheme. It's not orange or red. It's not black anymore. It's this weird pale white and blue. Elmar, from your studies of religion, you recognize this creature. The name escapes you, but you've seen it depicted in some artwork in one of your old temple rooms.
Okay.
You know it's one of the quote-unquote gods of the wind.
Okay.
How it came to be encased in shadowy dark armor, you got no clue. But as you look up, your sword kind of glows once more radiantly. The sigil on your shield is still glowing from the fight. As the dragon looks down at you and kind of nods, and it holds out a large talon.
Yep. I don't know if I.
Yeah, it'll kind of, it reaches out for your hand.
It's like a fist bump.
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
Am I getting a gift? Is it trying to pick me up? What are we doing here? I'll just put my hand out.
You now know the dragon's true name
Oh, sweet.
is Typhos.
Okay.
And if you ever need a ride or you're in danger, you give him a call.
Dude.
Okay.
Ally acquired.
You've unlocked the power of Deus Ex Machina.
Refisul.
Sick.
Make a history check. Yeah, you're not really sure. You're like, how did this arrow turn into a stone, into a dragon, into armor? I got no clue what's going on here.
Yeah, I really don't.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Use that.
Mm-hmm.
Really play off that. Really play with the space.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. But yes, as Typhus kind of flies up away from you, kind of heads off just barely over the tree line, you watch as in a flash, it flaps its wings and it's gone. It's kind of away it goes.
I'm surprised for a second, and then I like look around because I'm like, yeah, I know that. I know about that. And like, I want to pretend to be the guy that's like knows about this magic this time.
Yeah. You're like, I understand the religious
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
I'm there. Yeah, you need me, I'm there.
No.
But you have them. No, I don't. That's impossible. Don't be ridiculous.
Blasphemy.
I don't have magic.
And then,
Yeah, you can see kind of taking in your surroundings.
yeah, after
Everybody's kind of beat up.
yeah, being so close in the fight, I didn't really see how bad Perseus had gotten. So I'll run over and make sure he's okay.
Okay. Yeah, Hoba's kind of tending to some of the wounds. You're not as completely obliterated as Ruse was, so that's a win. It's a big win.
I did it.
I heard we can refuse bone into incorrect positions.
Let's not do that. I'd like to do it the correct way, please.
Well, yeah, I have a lot more questions now.
Did you know that thing?
I knew of it, but not until we freed it of its bindings. That is Typhus, one of the gods of wind. How it came to be trapped in that arrow is another story.
I don't know.
Just I'm shooting daggers at Refisul. Just
I'm shooting them at you
didn't know.
too.
Sure, you didn't know.
Well, you turned a weapon for us into something that almost killed Perseus.
Yeah, I'm sure that was my fault. Definitely.
Pretty sure it was.
You didn't have anything to
Well,
do with it.
I think that is a non-existent point anymore. Are each of these arrows containing a god? I mean, that might be why the darker one has been able to gain so much power, is because he's trapping his enemies in his own weapons and using them against their own side.
I really don't know. I honestly don't know. Ruse brought these arrows to me, showed me what they could do. I asked him to make more. That's
Like-
all I know.
Like, we need to make an army of people to set free what else might be trapped in those. 'Cause
We're definitely not ready today to start
Oh.
releasing these things.
absolutely agree, but I am much happier having that free than having an arrow.
Mhm.
Am I alone?
No, you're definitely correct.
Just giving you a good old thumbs up, like I agree with you.
Where did you get it?
I told you. Ruse found a cave, was able to create them, brought me a couple, and I said, can you make me more? He said, yes. And I said, okay, make me as many as you can. He tells me he made me about 50.
I mean, it may be worth revisiting. If there's any left, there might be more things trapped there.
With the exception of it hurting the captain, we should destroy all of those arrows.
Say we question Ruse.
Yeah, I want to know more about them, but I don't want to destroy them if it kills whatever is in them, if there's more.
No, I mean do what we did.
Okay. Because that is...
They should not be weapons when they are actual beings.
I mean, let's say hypothetically, there was one of those in every single one of those arrows, and we could have 50 of those.
Allies?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hypothetically, we just fought one of the 50 and it almost destroyed one of us and beat the rest of us up.
No, I'm not saying, let them all free at once. I'm saying, like, get our friends, get, like, a little army, and be ready for it. I mean, we can try to do what we've done with the Tommy Pickles priest and remove the curse, if that's a thing, or maybe
Thomas Cucumber.
Do you have more of those mystical
He's
stones that seem to create the creature?
If it's a curse within the arrow, I can try to get rid of it from the arrow itself
it's true.
without the stone.
It would be really unfortunate if it just turned into an arrow.
I think before we do anything, I think we need to rest and heal up a little bit.
For sure. It's just there's so much that was crazy. And now we've lost that stone.
We need to talk to your friend.
Yeah, well, we need to heal my friend because he's in bad shape.
Yes, I'm more concerned about talking to him
Well,
at this
he
moment.
needs to heal before he can talk.
He seems healed, just not put back in the right place. He seems tip-top shape to me.
Listen, I've worked with Josiah for years in my training. I'd be happy to talk with him and see if he is willing to give some more information. This is it's difficult for me knowing what we know now, but I've never had a reason to not trust him
And I trust you. That's why he's not going to be part of that conversation.
Who?
You.
You're reckless. I don't want you part of that conversation.
I'm not going to be.
I'm okay if they talk, but not you.
Great.
Great. I'm glad. I'm glad you're glad.
Settled.
I
It's gonna be great.
I
I'm
can,
glad it's great.
It's gonna be great.
I can see you losing your temper and killing him over something stupid before realizing what really is happening.
I will talk to him.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Me too. As I'm like,
I will use some of my healing reservoir just to maybe help put you at ease a little bit.
thank you, sir.
And just
It's
Through
called
kind
morphine.
No, it's kind words, good deeds. Nothing else.
Just let me
Even
know
though
how
Elmar's
much.
like magical radiant healing pool. You're gonna be all right, buddy. I feel so much better. You're so good at this.
Wow, your words really
my
do
bedside manner is
It's unmatched.
it literally heals.
That's
Help. How much are you doing, Joel?
I'll give you 5 HP.
Perfect. Looking better already.
I'm only at -2 now.
I can feel my foot again.
Is that air I feel breathing into my lungs? Oh,
All right,
man.
let's go. Using my trident as like a walking stick.
Hobo will prop you up as well.
I think we both need a ride because I'm still beat up from the last fight.
You
Well,
can walk.
Currently,
You can mind your
my
own
steed
business.
is carrying our other wounded to the cart,
Yeah.
so you'll have to make do.
It's Michael. We're like, I have a foot injury and he has a head injury. Which would you say is more serious? The head injury. No, but like the foot is really badly burned. You don't understand. I burned my foot in a George Foreman grill.
All right.
Okay. As you guys begin to make your way back towards the cart, take one final look at the battlefield. Ko's kind of kicking around some of the shadowy plates on the ground before he sees you guys are leaving, and he'll head off. The trees all around are still sort of reduced to withered husks and ash, and that pool of congealed glob is just still kind of festering there, pulling color and seems like moisture out of the surrounding land.
I'll stop and go check that out.
Okay.
I want nothing to do with it.
I mean,
Yeah. Meh. Definitely not touch it myself as I see what's going on.
I just
but
look back.
try to get closer to it, see what's going on there, if I can get any more information. Just looking at it or maybe poking it a little bit.
Okay. Are you going to poke it?
Well, yeah, not me,
You
but
can
like
poke
with a stick or something.
Obviously scientific. Yes.
Maybe an arrow.
Arrow's got you into this mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, not normal arrows. A normal arrow, I think, will be fine.
Okay. Yeah. As you poke and prod at this thing with various sticks, the result is always the same. Anything organic that comes in contact with it withers to ash.
Please.
I'll pull out a little glass container that I have and try to get it in the glass container.
Get in.
Come on. Come on.
Okay.
Symbiote.
Get in.
Come on, jump in there.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to summarize it. As you place a jar down, it seems to kind of reach out little tiny tendrils and sort of pull the jar closer to itself.
Okay.
And it kind of just climbs over the jar, and you see that the jar shape is still inside. But there's just more mass to this thing now.
Okay. Can I have my jar back?
Would you like to make a persuasion check?
Yeah.
Can I have my
Are we aware of this, or are you doing this on the slide?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that you guys
No,
just
we
kept
already
walking, and I
left.
stopped because I saw it and was
Yeah.
like, "This is bad."
And I saw him go back, and I was like,
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Yeah, your jar slowly emerges back into the
Aw.
grass,
It's nice.
Oh, thanks.
unblemished. It's actually like cleaner. Any scratches or anything that are on there are all healed over.
Purifying the earth.
I'm going to climb into the ooze.
I'm gonna jump in there. I've gotten kind of dirty.
Well, I don't know what to do with this. So,
Drink it.
I mean,
Clean
why
your
not,
insides.
right? Why not?
It's a juice
What do we
cleanse.
eat?
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do.
It's keto.
Is it, I don't know. I would just keep trying to contain. Is there anything that I could do to like contain it and like take it with me or no? God damn it.
You have a jar.
Yeah, that's I'm just gonna try to like scoop it into the jar
How do you scoop it?
with like my axe. I'm gonna take my little hand axe out and like try to like gloop it into the thing.
Loop it in there?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Just the blade
Make
blade part of my axe.
I'm going to allow you to choose which check you're making. Sleight of hand or persuasion. We'll say intimidation. You have an axe out. Sleight of hand or intimidation.
Get in the jar.
I'll just sleight of hand it.
It doesn't like when you yell at it.
A 10.
A 10? A 10 for sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to
Get in. Get in the jar. Get on in.
as some of this sort of like ichor goo just kind of climbs its way into the jar, settles on down. You could see left behind is a small chunk of ordinary marble.
Yeah. I'll go pick it up and be like, "Oh, was that my friend that I know?" Go pick it up.
It's a small chunk of ordinary marble.
That's all it is.
It no longer has the barometric quality for you of saying like something's up here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a normally stone. It makes things normally. Now you have some ooze.
Okay.
In a jar.
Cool. I'll lock that jar up tight.
It
What?
needs air.
No, it doesn't.
Why have you forsaken me?
And marble and be on my way.
I have my rock and my jar of ooze.
This fun loot from that little fight.
There you go. Yeah, as you make your way back to rejoin your friends, they're about halfway back to the cart. They're moving pretty slow. Do you have this ooze just out?
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it on like one side and be more like focused on the marble.
Okay.
And like I'm assuming everybody's just sort of walking. As we walk by Refisel, Maya's gonna throw some shade on him and flip him in the face with her tail.
Ooh. You taking that?
No. Absolutely not. So I pick up a rock and throw it at its head. Not really hard, but
At
enough.
my head?
No,
I'm riding her.
I'm gonna throw it at her head. Not enough to hurt her, but enough to let her know that.
All right, let's get an attack roll. You are a monk. You're very good with improvised weapons. +4.
9.
9. +4.
It's about where I wanted to be.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, as you throw the rock, you go, yeah. You're used to throwing the boomerang.
Mhm.
So you throw it expecting it to curve, and it just goes,
But did she see that I threw it?
No.
probably not. No. If they walk past you to whip you with the tail.
I'm gonna. Okay.
She saw nothing, and if she did, she's acting like she saw nothing.
Ooh.
Mhm.
You're getting the cold shoulder.
Get it? Because she's an ice puppy.
Then I'll approach Elmar
It's Peppy.
and, hi, catch. And then I'll throw you the piece of marble. See what you do.
Does it look different?
Not on the outside,
You
no.
literally used him as like a test dummy for it.
I'd jump out of the way. What are you doing?
As a chunk of marble kind of slams pretty heavily into the forest floor.
Yeah, it's just a piece of marble. Oh,
Was this the stone from Fola?
yeah.
I still don't want to touch it.
It's not really anything anymore, but fair enough. I'll kind of swing down and just pick it back up.
Hey, Elmar.
Might be worth seeing if it can maybe be recharged next time we're there.
Oh, I'll hold on to it.
But we also do need to be careful now on when we use it, because that was very short-lived. You know, I brought that up as a point, but I didn't think it would be that and then it's done. Like
True.
that took all the power out of it.
Probably worth it though.
But if we were to use that thing against Hot Dad, I think we need it at its maximum.
Did you happen to see when Ko kind of knocked its tooth out, the stuff that came out of it?
Not particularly, but I know.
Well, this is what it was.
Oh, it's blood.
I don't know. It kind of can move on its own.
Can I sense anything from it that might seem radiant to see if it's like the blood of the god that I just met?
So yeah, you could in theory use divine sense to see if this is an object of divinity.
Yes.
You are not required to roll a die to do it.
Okay.
This is the blood of a celestial in some way, which would basically mean an angel, a demon, a devil, or a god in this case.
Well,
But it's not a fiend or an undead, so it's more than likely.
can I do a history or a religion check to see maybe, if this has been used in any capacity before, good or evil, that I may have heard about?
Sure. Let's give it a shot.
Okay, either one?
Yeah.
Okay, religion.
Yay!
Plus 17.
Unnatural 20.
Yes, you're vaguely familiar with some degree, to some degree, with the entity that could possibly cause this. Whether it be binding or releasing or incurring evil or taking it out of the world. It's one of the deities that is very much at odds with the Iron Will, as the Iron Will likes things to stay the same and to sort of incur will upon the world.
This is like chaos.
Yep, the deity that would cause something like this to happen is a god of change. He prefers things to always be different than they were. It's be a less chaotic Loki would be a good equivalent to it.
So Peter Baelish.
Sure. Yeah, he doesn't really care what changes, but as long as things are changing.
Chaos is a ladder.
Yes.
I would be careful with this. I don't know.
It was just destroying the forest, so I couldn't leave it.
Is it that all of it?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's just to protect the forest and we've cleaned it up, then it might be worth disposing of that properly. That's a very scary substance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very scary substance.
As I'm kind of riding on Undertow near them, I'm like laying on him and like just like out sprawled out, just kind of looking at them. You all noticed that ever since I quit drinking, bad things happen.
It's been a day.
It was a bad week to stop. I'm just gonna kind of just smile and just keep riding, just alongside them.
I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Just the like Jeff Goldblum pose.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just. Oh my
I'm
god.
throwing my coat a little.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, as you guys slowly make your way back, the closer you get to the cart, the louder the. And the word has weird connotations. The moans of pain you hear. Presumably from Ruse. It's this very exasperated and heavy breathing, followed by short bursts of screams, which then lead to more crying out in pain. You hear Bones trying to soothe his friend as you get closer and closer to the cart.
Yikes. I
As
will.
Even the Oceaneers have kind of dropped their usual jovial attitudes and are just like,
I will jaunt over to that and take a look, see if anything has gotten worse or if it's just the pain of what he went through.
okay. As you approach, this will be the first time Elmar is seeing the wounds really up close. There's 3 massive claw marks all the way up. For you, we'll call him Josiah's torso. The armor has been cut away by Bones. His shoulders each are about 6 inches lower than they ought to be. So his neck is stretched.
God.
His shoulders begin about down here.
Oh my god.
As his arms are just completely slack at their sides. He sees you and you can see he has motion in the arm, but it seems to be excruciating. Every time he moves, you can see the healed bones kind of jutting out where they shouldn't be. So it seems like they're causing some internal issues as well. You're very well versed in how dangerous it can be to heal mortal wounds quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a risk. He is by no means condemned to die. This is fixable, but not without breaking him again first.
Oh.
This is something typically a very skilled healer would handle. Knock them out for about a week, break a few bones, get them set properly, then reheal.
Oh my god.
Followed by months and months of taking it very easy because you're breaking and mending and breaking and mending the bones repeatedly. The Harry Potter method is much easier.
Yeah,
Dissolve the bone and then
liquid.
grow a new one. You don't have that option here. As Josiah looks up at you, you can see he's just shaking in pain, but trying not to breathe too heavily or move at all.
We need to get him to Fola. Now.
Do you know a healer that can do this process?
I mean, not explicitly, but I don't know where else could take him in such short notice to do anything.
Fair.
But to be honest, this looks and sounds like something that either needs to be taken care of now, or we need to put him out of his misery. This is no...
Does he have any weird like infections? I think Percy would be pretty keen on that, being out on the seas and
Let's
with
get a
odd things.
Let's get a medicine check. Let's
Hardcore
see.
scurvy, dude.
He needs
He's got
he
scurvy.
needs citrus.
Just to throw that in.
And to fake an attack of scurvy to get out of there.
14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay. None of the typical stuff that you would see. He's not like gangrenous or anything.
That's what I was, I was going for.
It's not out of the question, but the wounds are very freshly mended over, so there's probably something in there.
Mm-hmm.
He seems very obviously inflamed in a lot of spots, all through his torso, all across his arms, his shoulders, everything. You can see the skin is stretched very, very far down on the shoulder, but it's also kind of sagging a little bit inside where the bones are, as opposed to where they should be.
I'm assuming he's like yelling pretty loud, right?
He's trying not to, because it seems like every time he shouts, the bones kind of compress.
Okay. When he shouts me like, it's just mostly for the sake of everybody, I'm gonna kind of tap him on the forehead and I'm gonna cast silence.
Okay.
So like any noise or sound that he would make is just
Can
not
you put him to sleep?
Yeah.
there. No.
Can anybody do
Yes.
anything for his
I
pain?
have no lungs, but I must scream.
Does anybody have anything they can do for his pain?
Hobo will pipe in. I can knock him unconscious, but in his current state, I can't promise if or when he'll come back. I don't know
He
how
can't
he's
just
doing internally,
Can't sit here and suffer.
So like an indefinite coma?
more or less. The Vipers can give a potent sedative, but without proper healing and resources, I cannot promise he will wake up.
I mean, if I'm one to go, I'd rather be in my sleep.
Yeah.
Ruse, still trying to scream quietly, just goes,
All right. Do it.
"Very well." As Bones is kind of sat on the side of the cart, just holding on to Josiah's hand, you can see tears are quietly streaming down his face. As Hoba releases yet another, very large this time, pit viper looking snake, right up to the neck. And there's 2 quick bites, and you watch as Josiah's eyes just kind of roll back. He convulses for a moment, and he's gone. As the viper slowly crawls back to Hoba, he moves to put a hand on Bones' back, and Bones just slaps him away and just kind of collapses to himself.
How close are we to our goal at the moment?
We're probably closer to the goal than we
Close.
are to Fola.
Okay.
That's where, like, when you weren't here, that's what we were talking about. Like, we're like here already.
Gotcha. We need to get him back. This is no life for him, and if they can heal him there and start working on that process.
What if we have the Oceanius start making their way back with them?
I'm
Him and Bones?
Yeah, I was thinking Bones could go with him.
well, how far has it taken us to get to where we are now?
Day or 2? You're not too far north
Okay.
from where you were.
Because I think
It would be a few days ride. It would be a little bit longer for them to do because they'd have to move slowly if they want to keep Josiah.
can we teleport to Fola? Do we synchronize to that?
You have the ability to teleport
Where the Steel Sister is, right?
to where the Steel Sister is. You don't then have the ability to come back to where you are now.
I know that, but I thought we had like attuned to something in Fola so we could go right to it.
No, it's the Temple of the Steel Sister is still
But
a
that's
little
still
ways
pretty
away.
close, right?
It's very close.
What about where the
yeah.
normal stone is? Didn't we do that?
Yeah, I thought we did.
You
Or-
did, didn't you?
In
Thought
the
we
did.
sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Okay. Yeah, no, you can end up in the sewers beneath.
Okay.
Plant yourself down there.
I can take him with Bones. We can see what the case is and talk to him and get the information we discussed. And then I can ride back. Bones and I can ride back by steed and catch up.
I don't think he's going to be able to talk for weeks.
If that's the case, we'll just leave then and there. And
They'd be better off just riding then. That way you can stay here. Well, you'll probably need a lot more than a
yeah,
car ride
we
back.
just get him there like now rather than in a few days.
I'm gonna say this bluntly. He means honestly nothing to me personally. I know he does to the two of you. But I've seen plenty of people die. It's just another one.
Hoba put him in a coma. Starting the process now versus in a day or two. I understand, but with a goal. If you need to change your goal because of this, I understand, but Percy and I are going to stay.
That's fair. I feel like the things that are going to be done to him as soon as this begins are going to be they could be enough to wake him up. That's how messed up this is right now. And if we can get that going and we can get the additional information that we need to gain more allies and figure out what these arrows are, then I think that's a benefit. And like I said, the two of us can catch up rather quickly on by steed.
And if I'm being honest, right now, we have a lead on Hot Dad, from what I'm concerned. The fate of this entire place takes precedent over one person. But I respect anybody's decision at the end. I'll kind of just make my way out of the cart and kind of just chill by Undertow.
Maybe we should do this as quickly as possible here. And then let them start on their path. A couple days versus now. Really not that big of an impact.
All right.
If he wants, he can go with his friend.
But I think he's a bigger asset to us than you guys realize.
I don't think a day or two is going to change that. But that's my opinion.
I'll go chat. I'm gonna chat with Bones and the Oceaneers.
Okay.
And pull them aside for a minute.
Okay. As you approach, the Oceaneers go, "That's the boss's right hand man. Shape up."
God damn it.
Hey there, Mr. Elmar. Sir Elmar. Hey.
Listen, do any of you, Bones, you included, are you familiar with any healers in Fola, or were there any left from Summerbury that may be on the journey to Fola?
Oh, yeah. There's totally that one lady. Bro. She's not a healer. It's a different kind of healing. Anyways.
Is she like a life coach, or what? What is that? What's a different kind of healing?
I was on a dark path, okay? I needed some guidance.
So
But-
she is.
She's a
Listen.
psychiatrist.
There is someone survived from Summerbury. She heals with the magic of nature. She could totally help.
Bones, I need to ask you a very serious question.
Yeah.
Be honest with me. Do you think that you and this group could get Josiah back safely on your own?
If we don't run into shape-shifting arrows and invisible tigers. Yeah,
It's kind of my concern.
this lot they're missing a few cups in the cupboard, but you can count on them when you need. But if something serious happens, there's only so much we can do.
I agree. Okay. I think you and I, as a small unit, we can take him back and then ride back and catch up with them fairly quickly. Just the two of us.
Agreed.
Smaller, faster unit, be harder to hit any ambushes. We've already been this way. I think we can do it.
If we push our rides, we can back in a day or so.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take him back.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the nod. Like,
I think sending him back with what we've encountered so far on the way, the odds of them coming across something they couldn't handle is fairly likely. We can just go there now. Bones and I, as a 2-person team, can ride back.
Just
much quicker.
the two of you.
Yes.
You're not going.
No.
I think you should.
you know what? I think I will.
Been voted off the island.
3-person team.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sure.
Yeah, because right now I think one of us might kill the other in our sleep.
I wouldn't say that, but
On accident.
All right. Well, that's now you're definitely coming with. Jeez. All right. Well, do you have a way to get back here quicker? I mean, I don't know how versed you are in riding steeds.
I can do as long as I can see a shadow, I can teleport.
If you can keep up with 2 sprinting horses,
You won't be able to keep up with me.
interesting challenge. That'll be
At
fun.
high noon. Dang it.
No.
I will go into the cart and I'll pull out 1,000 gold from our massive stash that we have.
Yeah.
I'll give it to Elmar. Bring some supplies back.
Done.
And if you're the only one to make it back, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Bones too.
Bo's like,
Bones too.
alright.
And bones.
I'm just shaking my head.
The just pretend I was here and don't do anything outrageous.
Ko just stands there and goes,
Is Ko staying or are you taking him?
No,
with?
he'll stay with.
No.
Ko, I'm counting on you to keep any other dragons inside their arrows.
when he accidentally shoots off some lightning.
Oh,
he just goes,
I'm taking my arrows with me.
It was more a metaphor. Than...
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's get this man some help.
to a doctor.
To a doctor.
All right. His medical team dispatches. As you bamf out, are you bringing the cart with you? Or are you just taking Josiah?
I was just gonna take him so that you have the supplies, because bringing that back is gonna be much more of a nightmare.
Yeah, but now we have no one to leave and watch with it.
well,
we've
we
got
still
Ko
have
and-
your people.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you leave the ocean.
yeah, we
still
are
have
leaving the
your
ocean.
house.
Yeah, we are leaving the
just-
ocean.
yeah.
I thought we were
that's
keeping the
fine.
cart.
Okay,
Yeah.
my
Should
bad.
be- it's-
Two totally different pages there.
So it's I'm assuming
It's literally
it's
just 4 bodies
literally
with you guys.
yeah.
it would be the 3 of you with Ruse. So is Amenadiel staying
in
too?
my
No, Amenadiel goes with me.
in my
Okay.
my sawsbuck.
Okay. The group is growing. And,
Yeah,
and
there's no way I'm leaving a meta dealer.
No,
My
it's
bird
as
is staying here.
discussed. I'm
Yeah.
bringing my steed
bring
with
Sazbek.
which to ride.
Yeah, you're bringing Sazbek.
Just Bones and
Bones and Josiah are
I
on
don't
foot.
know what
I'm bringing him in a
Refusel's
deal.
doing, and then Ko and Gruntonga are staying.
Okay.
My bird stays.
Yes.
I wanted to take him with me.
I was thinking
Run really fast.
Josiah could ride on the bird.
I'd let if you actually wanted Bones to ride the bird, I'd allow it. If you wanted it.
It's up to you. I mean, I think he'd probably be more attuned to a steed. And
If
just,
Elmar asked, I
probably
would give it to you.
Find a horse. There.
Probably,
yeah,
but
I think he's good.
oh, I gotta mark off that gold that I gave you too.
Okay. Medical dispatch team. Synchronize your watches. 3, 2,
So now when we get there, you have to
1.
remember.
Bam! And right as you guys fold out of space time, we'll pick that up next week. Mourning a friend and blaming one another, our heroes go their separate ways to see what might be salvaged from their endeavors. If you had a good time hanging out with us, feel free to drop us a like on the video. If you're enjoying the campaign so far, consider subscribing to the channel. If you aren't a member of the Patreon, but you'd like to find out more, you can follow the links in the description box below. You can join the discussion in our Discord servers or check out the post-show Still Rolling. There are also links if you'd like to rock some Boarding Party merch. Let us know in the comments if you think Ruse will recover enough to have answers for all of the group's questions, and how you might have handled this situation. Thanks for watching Boarding Party. We'll catch you next week.